Welcome to Writers Write, where we make sense of APA, side-eye fake sources, and get your papers together one paragraph at a time. Hello, learners. I'm Dr. Shae, and welcome to Writers Write, the podcast where we turn final paper meltdowns into final paper mic drops. In today's final episode, we're focusing on the everything you'll need to successfully complete your final paper. We'll walk through every single paragraph and section, step by step. Whether you've struggled with references or just want to refine your academic voice, this episode will help you present information clearly, meet APA expectations, and write with the confidence needed to finish strong. Let's get into it. The title page. Beginning with your title page. Your title page should start halfway down page 1, not at the top of the page, but in the middle of the page. The title should be in bold and not in all caps. This is a level 1 heading. All level 1 headings, which will be highlighted in purple in this video, should be centered and bold. The rest of the text should be double-spaced, with no extra space before or after each line. The subsequent lines should include your name, the department name, the name of the school, the class name and number, my name, and the date. And I can't believe I have to say this, but we're 8 weeks in, and some of you have still never turned in a correct title page. If only I could get paid for every page that was turned in incorrect. Ching ching, the abstract. The abstract should be one concise paragraph, no more than 5 to 6 sentences. The title abstract should be bold and centered as it is a level 1 heading. The abstract itself should not be indented. The instructions in the template state exactly what each sentence of the abstract should include. Read the template. There should be no in-text citations or references in the abstract. Your keywords should be indented and italicized, and you should have no more than 5 keywords total. The introduction. On page 3, the top of the page, centered and bold, should be the same title you used on page 1, again, another level 1 heading. Again, if I was paid for every paper I read this quarter with a new title posted here, one word, retirement. Your introduction paragraph should not include the heading Introduction. We do not use that heading in APA writing. Your introduction should briefly explain your topic and why it is relevant or important in today's context. Introduce the main problem or gap your research addresses, focusing on what is currently unknown, overlooked, or misunderstood. End with a clear thesis statement of your paper's purpose, what you aim to explore, prove, or analyze through your research. Avoid detailed evidence or citations here. Those will appear in later sections. Background. This is a new section for the final paper. The word background is a level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. In this video, all level 2 headings will be highlighted in green. This section should give readers a big picture view of your topic. Explain how it has developed over time and why it's important today, not just in terms of obvious benefits, but in a wider context. This section should naturally lead into the problem your paper will address, setting it up clearly for the next part. Cheat code. I took the first 3 sentences of my introduction from week 4 and added to it for this part. Check your week 4 introduction and see if you can use it to start your background section. Refined problem statement. Refined problem statement is a level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. This section can be copied and pasted from your week 4 paper, if and only. If I didn't make any comments or give you feedback about it, if I did, that means you'll need to revise what you submitted. Please read my feedback and read this section of week 4 template to make the necessary changes to align with this paper. However, if I didn't make any comments, please feel free to copy and paste this section directly into your paper. Proposed research questions and objectives. Proposed research questions and objectives is a level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. Objective 1 and Proposed Question 1 and Level 3 headings, and should be bold, italicized, and aligned to the left. This section can be copied and pasted from your Week 4 paper. With this section, you want to make sure that your objective is not in a phrase but integrated into your narrative paragraph. Your question should be indented and italicized, see blue highlights, and then your narrative paragraph should follow. If you did this correctly, for Week 4, you can just copy and paste. However, if I gave you feedback, especially those who I had to tell that 2 sentences is not a paragraph, please make your revisions align with my feedback. Next is the objective and proposed question 2. Again, level 3 headings should be bold, italicized, and aligned to the left. The objective should be integrated into the narrative paragraph, and the question should be indented and italicized with the narrative paragraph to follow. Again, if I did not give you any feedback, feel free to copy and paste from Week 4. If you did not write a proper narrative paragraph explaining your question or objective, be sure to go back to the Week 4 template and read the instructions. The Literature Review. Literature Review is a Level 2 heading, should be left aligned and bold. Summary of Sources is a Level 3 headings and should be left aligned, bold, and italicized. Level 4 headings, which are new to this paper and highlighted in blue, should be indented, bold, and followed by a period with the paragraph starting immediately after. In this section, you're going to group all of your sources by types and copy and paste your summaries from Week 3. In Week 4, some of you added new sources to align with your restated problem and/or gap, and those should be included in this section as well. So this means if you have 3 journal articles, you should have a paragraph summarizing each article. If you have 3 or 4 different websites, then under your websites section, you should have a paragraph summary for each. Please refer to the sample paper if you need to see what this should look like. Synthesizing Sources. Synthesizing Sources is a Level 3 heading, should be left aligned, italicized, and bold. In this section, you will compare and contrast your sources. This section can be copied and pasted from Week 3, however. You'll also need to revise just a bit to include the new sources you used in Week 4. If I gave you feedback and told you that your analysis only had 2 sentences, you will need to expand here. Otherwise, feel free to copy and paste from Week 3, and be sure to add on info for the sources you used in Week 4. Gaps in Existing Literature. Gaps in Existing Literature is a Level 3 heading, should be left aligned, italicized, and bold. In this section, you are going to write about what the literature does not say. This section can be copied and pasted from Week 3. You only need to revise this section if I gave you feedback. The Methodology. This is a new section for the final paper. The word methodology is a Level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. Using both of your scholarly sources from Week 4 as a foundation, conduct additional research to find one more credible real-world source, such as news articles, educational studies, or government reports that support your research objectives. The new source should include quantitative data with a chart or documented outcomes that relate directly to your objectives. Think of the source we used for the Week 6 paper, something of that nature. And remember, it doesn't need to relate to your entire paper, but maybe 1 or 2 points that you're trying to make. Now, if you choose to use your own survey or interviews to create your own chart, that is fine. Be sure to use the email guide I sent to show you how to create a chart. In your paragraph for this section, explain the overall approach you took to gather and combine this research. Your paragraph should be 4 to 5 sentences and clearly describe the type of sources you used, the methodology, qualitative, mixed, quantitative, why they were selected, and how they help provide a stronger understanding of your topic. The Data Summary. This is also a new section for the final paper. The words Data Summary are a Level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. Think about the data summary you did for Week 6, where you describe the chart and the data points. That is the same thing you will do in this section. Summarize what the chart says. What does the percentage or numbers mean? What does the chart leave out? What important statistics should the reader take away from this section? The Results. This is also a new section for the final paper. The word results is a Level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. In this section, you are going to summarize and synthesize the most important findings from your research sources, especially those that relate directly to your proposed objectives and questions. This is not a place to analyze or interpret the meaning of the results. We'll do that later. Instead, focus on what the research reveals. What does it say in black and white? The plain, simple truth. The final analysis. This is also a new section for the final paper. The words final analysis are a level 2 heading and should be bold and aligned to the left. This is where you bring everything together. You are going to interpret the findings from your research and explain what they mean in the context of your objectives and research questions. Think about all the other sections of your paper. Begin by linking your results to your problem statement and objectives, explaining how the findings help answer your research questions. Discuss patterns, trends, or contradictions in the data and scholarly sources, explaining why they might exist. Include insights from your chart or collected data, such as surveys or interviews, interpreting what those numbers or themes reveal about the issue. Critically assess the strengths and limitations of your research and sources, including factors such as sample size or methodology. Conclude this section by explaining the implications of your findings and how they could inform future research, policy, or practice in your topic area. This paragraph should be 5 to 7 sentences, well organized, and focused on what the results mean rather than restating them. Use in-text citations where necessary to support your analysis. The conclusion. Finally, your conclusion. Conclusion is a level 1 headings and should be bold and centered. 5 to 6 sentences that summarizes everything. Start by restating the significance of your research topic. Then, briefly highlight the key takeaways from your literature review, research questions, and methodology. Be sure to include what your research suggests about long-term academic outcomes and educational equity. Finally, end with a strong closing statement that explains why your findings matter and what future steps educators or researchers should consider. The references is a level 1 headings and should be bold and centered. Some of you have struggled to create a proper reference page, even though if you check your downloaded feedback, I more than likely have created the proper reference page for you. In all my feedback, I always suggest using the Quillbot site because it will create a proper reference for you that you can copy and paste directly into your paper. Your reference page should contain all of your sources from week 3 and week 4 and any new sources that you used. It should be double-spaced in alphabetical order and include hanging idents. And that's it, learners. You now have every tool you need to turn your final paper into a polished, confident piece of academic writing. From the title page to the references, every section we walked through today is designed to help you meet APA expectations and present your research with clarity and purpose. Remember, follow the template, apply the feedback you've received, and don't skip the details that make a paper shine. Your topic matters, your voice matters, and this final paper is your chance to show it. Go finish strong, and I cannot wait to see the work you've put together. I'm Dr. Shae, and that's my time.